Okay, let's come back to order here. Okay, we have. Okay, everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. Okay. Okay, revision, adoption, ordering of the agenda. Do I have a motion?
Second.
I believe Dr. Rouse was.
Can we maybe tell the public the board has pulled 11-4 and 11-20,
And
those are
12-1.
and what
12-1.
and 12-1, and they'll all appear under action. Well,
12-1
the
12-1
two-
will be after action.
Yeah, 12-1 will be after action. And information.
Information.
Thank you.
Carolyn made the motion. Dr. Rouse made the second. Okay, please vote. My I'm in, and I may have to refresh here.
We have Mr. Hallstrom here. He might be able to come up and show you what to do on the computer. Technology expert that he is.
Bill? Okay.
Great answer.
There we go. Okay, I had to refresh. Thank you. Okay. Okay, report out of closed session.
There is no report this evening out of closed session, Mr. President.
And thank you. District update by the superintendent.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nelson, and welcome everybody to our governing board meeting. I'd like to start off our board meeting as usual when we have them, a RAVE award, and I'd ask Tanya Davis, our executive director, to issue our RAVE award to Jerry Swift from Paloma Valley High School. So, Mrs. Davis, Mrs. Swift, if you could come to the podium. Where's Tanya? There she is. Perfect timing, Tanya.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You just made it. We're doing the RAVE award. And there's.
It's called Who's On First.
Oh boy. Thank you for joining, Mr. Williamson.
I'm so sorry.
Why wasn't you ready?
Swift, CNA, from, there you are. Come on up. And I will get this out. Okay. In April, of 2015 of this year, a Paloma Valley parent pulled into the parking lot at Paloma Valley High School to seek help because his coworker and passenger in his car had stopped breathing. Site administration reported to the scene. Another parent, who happened to be a nurse, asked if she could help. Although they tried to pull him out with two female people, they couldn't. Mr. Williamson and Mr. Carrillo came to their assistance and were able to pull the victim out of the vehicle. The nurse prepared the victim to start performing CPR, and our very own CNA, Jerry Swift, rushed out after hearing the commotion on the radio and helped that nurse perform CPR for approximately 15 minutes while waiting for emergency personnel to arrive. The victim was kept alive for that 15 minutes because of you and that parent. You are to be commended for your willingness to step in so quickly and selflessly save that man's life. Although we don't know the outcome, because we did not hear anything back, and we don't know the gentleman's name, we want to thank you with a RAVE Award to let you know how much we appreciate what you did. Thank you.
And Jerry, I've got something from Paloma. Whenever you see somebody step up and do something to save somebody else's life like you did, that is just amazing. And we just wanted you to know that we think that you are the best, and we're so glad that you were there to help. We got a plaque for you. It says, in recognition of your heroic actions that helped save the life of a stranger, you have shown the qualities that put you above and beyond. Jerry Swift, thank you for your selfless act and contribution to our community. Thank you so much.
I want to thank everybody, but I was told to come, but I feel like I was just doing my job and doing what I'm trained to do. But I also want to say that we worked as a team. Mr. Carrillo, Jeff Perez, and Don Williamson helped get the very tall, large man out of a small vehicle, all dead weight. So, if it wasn't for them, I don't think that we could have done what we did. So it was a big team effort. Thank you.
In my 8 years in the district, we nominate every year 2 teachers for Riverside County Teacher of the Year. And this is the first year in my 8+ years in the district that we have a semifinalist. And so I'm very pleased to announce and ask her to come up and say a few words. Angel Love Behrens, who teaches at the California Military Institute. She's not here? Oh, okay. Well, I'm still going to announce it anyway. All right. Angel is not able to be here, but I just want everybody to know that we have outstanding teachers throughout the district. But Angel Love Behrens will move on and hopefully be Riverside County Teacher of the Year, which would be a great honor. Can we have a nice round of applause for Mrs. Behrens? I'd like to now introduce Kevin Tibbetts, who's an administrator at the Riverside County Office of Education. He's here to recognize the boys wrestling team at Paloma Valley High School. So if the coach and the team members could come up to the podium, that'd be great. Coaches.
Yeah, you can tell this must be a special occasion because they're giving me a microphone, which doesn't happen very often, and we don't have the stopwatch up there to time me, so we'll see how this turns out. All right, so 15 years ago, the Educational Services Division of the Riverside County Office of Education began recognizing academic and athletic teams for their accomplishments in both areas. They wanted to recognize the connections, the many connections between athletics and academics and how the two correlate. This season, it's my pleasure and privilege to recognize the boys wrestling team from Paloma Valley High School, go Wildcats, for their academic success. They had the highest GPA in the county for this season in this sport, which is quite an accomplishment, both individually and as a team. So congratulations. I have patches for all of you in this envelope, and I'll let the coach take those. And then we have a very nice plaque, still in the plastic, so I wouldn't scratch it up on my way.
Wow.
So I'll hand you that. There's a spot there for you all to take a picture, so make sure you look good like you do today. Get your picture done. And congratulations on your hard work.
Any of the coaches want to say anything? You don't have to, but please feel free to.
I just want to thank our administration, our AD, Michael Pfeiffer, my assistant coach, Coach Briggs, who's a teacher on campus, who was one of the biggest reasons to be able to do this, to have I'm not a teacher at campus, I'm classified, but to have a teacher helps out a lot whenever you need a student that needs a little bit of help, or if they just need a classroom to do work in between matches, just anytime we can is a huge help. So that's Coach John Briggs. And more than anything, it's just to show what type of student athletes we have at Paloma Valley. We didn't earn the CIF one, and the biggest reason is because CIF is non-elevated. So our group of kids get punished in the CIF one because we take a lot of AP classes. And this one is a huge accomplishment because it does add the elevation, and we have probably, I would say, out of the 17 kids on the roster, at least 10 of them are taking AP classes, most of them multiple AP classes. So we have a great group of kids, and they deserve it.
Congratulations, Coach. May is the month where we recognize our employees, and last week I sent out this message on the Day of the Teacher. This was written last week. Tomorrow is the official California Day of the Teacher, not to be confused with the National Day, which was last week. As everybody knows, we do things differently in California. Whether it was last week or tomorrow, the sentiment is the same. We thank our classroom teachers, counselors, psychologists, and speech therapists this time each year for their selfless devotion to our students, their success, and their welfare. Our students in the Paris Union High School District are fortunate to come to school every single day to work with the most talented and caring educators in Riverside County. I had a video that spoke to that point, that there's more to teaching than just content. The video was taken at the Student of the Month breakfast a few months ago. The teacher, Katrina McPhail, who teaches social studies at Heritage High School, is speaking on the behalf of the student she nominated for the award. While she is telling the audience about how great and talented the student is and how he triumphed over a horrible family tragedy, Katrina's involvement in his life outside of the school setting is nothing short of extraordinary. The Paris Union High School District salutes Katrina McPhail and all of our teachers for going the extra mile on behalf of the students we so proudly serve. On behalf of the governing board and district administration, I thank our teachers for everything they do to support our students and their families. Then this week, instead of one day, there's a whole week to recognize our support staff. May 18th to May 22nd is designated as the Classified Support Staff Week. It is the 1 week each year set aside for recognizing the help, support, and achievements of our support staff. In an earlier email, CSEA President Claudia Davis referred to our classified support staff as the glue that keeps our schools and offices running. I prefer to think of our classified support staff as catalysts in public education. In chemistry, a catalyst brings two or more distinctive elements together to form something new and better. Okay, I wasn't a science teacher, but that's what I remember from 11th grade chemistry and that one long quarter of chemistry at UC Davis. Seriously, whether we refer to them as glue or catalysts, our classified support staff is what keeps everything moving harmoniously so teachers and the rest of us can do our jobs effectively. To say these employees are indispensable is an understatement. Case in point of what happened at Heritage High School a number of weeks back when a few students set off a dry ice explosion in the boys' locker room. Within minutes, our campus supervisors secured the area, locked down the campus, and assisted administration in the apprehension of those involved. The sheriff's department was amazed. We weren't, because it is that level of professionalism we get every single day from our campus supervisors, clerical staff, cafeteria workers, maintenance and grounds, para-educators, bus drivers, health office workers, custodians, library staff, and anyone else I may have missed. On behalf of the Board of Trustees and District Administration, I thank you for a job well done to our classified support staff. I hope all of our students, our teachers, and administrators take time out this week to thank these unsung heroes. So if we could, let's have a nice round of applause for our teachers and support staff. This time of the year, the people at this side of the table call it the graduation grind. All the senior award nights, all of the FFA award nights that we get to go to. It seems like a grind, but we really enjoy it. Last week, we got a chance, Dr. Rouse joined us for an end-of-the-year pinning ceremony at Paris Lake High School. Now, I've been to probably hundreds, if not thousands of these, and, they're all really, really good. But Dr. Rouse and I and the cabinet members that were there were stunned because the students were pinned for graduating high school. They had the valedictorian and salutatorian recognized, and they went one step further, and the students made a pledge to their parents about how they would live their life, and the parents then made a pledge to the students how they were going to support them. It's something I've never seen before. I know Dr. Rouse is going to use it as his high school in the future, and he's probably going to tell everybody it was his idea. But that's okay, Dr. Rouse, you can do that. But I really want to thank the administration and the teachers at Paris Lake High School who put on a wonderful pinning ceremony last week. So we also now get to recognize students. We have a Student of the Month program every month. Each comprehensive high school and the alternative schools alternate, nominating a Student of the Month, a senior who is outstanding. And so when you think about it, probably at each school there's 6 or 7 at our big schools that get recognized. It's amazing. So now we get Student of the Year and a special dinner coming up. So I want to announce who the Students of the Year are. From Paris High School, Leslie Ayala. From Paloma Valley High School, Julia Rivera. From Heritage High School, Holly Woods. From Paris Lake High School, Erica Shiwakawa. And from the California Military Institute, somebody we all know real well, Miguel Lopez. Let's have a nice round of applause for our Students of the Year. Paris High School recognizes both outstanding teachers who work with English learners, but also great English learning students. It's a great honor for the EL program at Paris High School to recognize Dina Brusca as the 2015 English Learner Teacher of the Year, and Megan, I'm going to get her name right, I hope, Telsutter as the 2015 English Learner Rookie Teacher of the Year. Also, Flor Denise Cornejo Sandoval and Quan Tran Ho earned English Learner Students of the Year. Let's have a nice round of applause for those students and teachers as well. Speaking of Student of the Month, we have sponsors. We have businesses that use their money to support our students in scholarships, paying for the breakfast at Student of the Month and for the dinner. And the students are required to write thank you notes, not text messages, not emails, but old-fashioned thank you notes. We have to show them what they are because students go, what's that? So we just got a letter from Kevin Fahrenkopf. Kevin is the president and CEO of the Bank of Hemet, and he wanted me to read this. He said, just wanted to let you know what a nice letter I received from a Paris High School student, Alejandro Ramirez Flores. I understand he got admitted to Stanford, which is one of the toughest schools of all. Yet Mr. Flores was admitted, and that's something I'm sure he's very proud of. I'd like to read his thank you note to the Bank of Hemet. Greetings. My name is Alejandro Jesus Ramirez Flores, the December Student of the Month winner for Paris High School. Several months have passed, and yes, I do realize it is April now. However, there is a method to my madness. I intended to write once I received all of my college decisions and I could report my college plans. I'm delighted to share that I will be attending Stanford University, working towards a degree in astronomics and aeronautics. However, this may be subject to change given that I was accepted to be on the Harvard waiting list. While I wait to hear from Harvard, all my preparation is geared towards a future at Stanford. Whatever the outcome may be, you can be certain that I will be attending one of the top colleges in this nation, of which I am grateful. More on the topic of gratefulness. I wanted to extend my sincere gratitude for your sponsorship of the Student of the Month program. It was a true honor to be selected and recognized for my humble work. Your contribution does make a difference, for I'm proof of it. My faith in humanity is ever more increased by the immeasurable kindness that is shared within our community. I too hope to one day return to the community and strive for more programs like the one we are both in now. Thank you very much. Sincerely, Alejandro Jesus Ramirez Flores. Wow, what a student, huh? Round of applause for him. Every year, the district participates in the Metropolitan Water District solar boat competition. And at one time, we had different schools. And as you know, the drought is not only hurting our water situation, it's hurting the revenues for the water agencies. So then we had a district team for a few years, and now we have a district team that is partnering with Murrieta Valley Unified School District. So, Mr. Williams, I understand your team's here to talk about the solar boat competition from last weekend. And they are where?
Well, there's some of the teams that are robotics. I think this was next meeting they were going to do that. But we have some here. We have one of them.
Oh, I didn't know that. Would you like me to save that for the next meeting, Mr. Williams? Okay. Okay. Well, I'm learning as I'm going. Okay. The next announcement. On May 1st, over 200 Paris Union High School District Avid seniors participated in the RIMS Avid 19th Annual Senior Recognition at UC Riverside. Mr. Hallstrom, UC Riverside. There's the theme of the evening was What's Your Next Step, with recognition of students receiving numerous scholarships, ranging from Cal State, Dell Scholars, and Gates Millennium Scholars. Gilbert Quintero, a student at Heritage, received the RIMS Avid Scholarship. Special commendation to Jeremy Pagtalunan, a student at Paris High School, who was selected to be the RIMS Avid student speaker for the ceremony. Jeremy has earned a 4.23 GPA and will be attending UC Berkeley, majoring in political science. Jeremy states, Avid has been the single best decision I've made during my high school career. It has taught me both life skills and the overall definition of determination. I have built the best friendships with the Avid staff at my school that I can carry through for the rest of my life. Congratulations to all the Avid seniors. Wear your graduation sashes proudly. Let's have a nice round of applause for these great Avid students. We also want to recognize we have wonderful teachers and instructional aides working with special ed students. Last night, which would have been last night, the Community Activities Council, a subgroup of the Riverside County SELPA, hosted and recognized 4 of our outstanding special education staff last night. These individuals are deserving of praise. Counselor at Paris High School, Lee Alfred, Myrna Sanchez, a support provider at Student Services Center, Ann Fedorchek, a school psychologist at Pinacati Middle School, and Candace Boulay, a teacher at Paloma Valley High School. Thank you to these people for working so hard with our special education students. And now that I know Tanya Davis is still here, Tanya's going to come back up to the podium. Just Sunday night, the Church of Latter-day Saints in Menifee recognized some of our employees with Crystal Apple Awards. So, Tanya, I'll let you lead the way.
Well, you told most of my story.
I always do.
I know. I had the pleasure of attending the awards ceremony at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Menifee on Sunday night. And I just want to kind of give you a little bit of a background. The Crystal Apple Awards are based on nomination forms received by seminary students where they are asked to answer these questions about teachers. Tell about the teacher, how he or she supports me living my values and or creates a positive learning environment, how the teacher makes a difference in my life and education, how I am grateful for this teacher, and this teacher inspires me too. And that's what these students wrote in on. We had lots of teachers that were recognized and nominated in this district. I was proud to be a part of that group. However, they did select winners at each of our high schools, and I've asked Miss Rose Henderson to come because she is our Paris High School Crystal Apple recipient, and we're very, very proud of you and the work that you do with our kids. I want to add that Paloma Valley High School recognized Mike McGregor at Paloma Valley High School and Doug Fairchild at Heritage High School. And those teachers are really making an impact. Thank you so much for what you do.
On May 2nd, the city of Menifee dedicated a street after the late Fred Twyman, who sadly passed away. It's been 4 years now. He was vice mayor of Menifee, school board Menifee in the Menifee Union School District, and beloved teacher at Paloma Valley High School. Of course, a wonderful husband and father. Tanya Davis and Marcy Savage attended on behalf of the administration. I would have been there, Mrs. Twyman, but my son was getting married that day. And the good news is she said yes, so I got my son married. But Fred Twyman was also the former PSCA president, and I know your whole family was in attendance, and again, we salute Fred's memory. Thank you. I said at the last board meeting that we were just so blessed to have 3 of our employees recognized as County Employees of the Year. I met the superintendent, Corona Norco, was really proud that he had 2. We had 3. Corona Norco is 5 times larger than him, than Paris Union High School District. So I said to that superintendent, it's kind of like we beat you 15-2. But I'm really proud of these employees. And first, we're going to recognize and see these wonderful videos that were shot by the Riverside County Office of Education, recognizing Audrey Smith as Riverside County's Classified Employee of the Year, Jeff Perez as Classified Administrator of the Year, and Julie Zerold as Principal of the Year. Watch these videos. I think you'll be impressed. Yep. Got to get the sound.
A typical day at my job is anything goes. It could have anything to do with financial aid. It could have to do with college application, FAFSA. Mostly I just work with students on anything. I work very closely with AVID. What I enjoy most about working with the AVID program is the one-on-one that I get to do with the students, going into the classrooms, working with just 12th graders, then going in and working with just 11th graders, incoming freshmen, introducing myself, letting them know what opportunities I provide for them in the Career Center. That's what I love about AVID. It's just one-on-one time. The most fulfilling part of my job is the interaction with the students. I love it. I love getting to be with them, helping them discover things, telling them good news when they get their especially financial aid. It's that season, and they don't even know what it is they're getting. Since coming here into the Career Center, one of my main goals was to increase the number of students that are going to college who actually can believe it's a possibility for them, since I've had only worked with AVID students. So we started the Legacy program here, which are those kids that fall through the cracks. They're not AVID, they're not AP kids per se, but they're kids who still have the GPA and have met their APG requirements.
One of my first interactions with Audrey was when I saw her take some of her football players under her wing and help them out by feeding them food and taking them to practices and just doing, selfless things for them.
Miss Smith has taught me a lot. So Miss Smith gives me a ride home every day, and I get a life lesson on the way home every single day. She's always there no matter what. She never gives up on us, so I'm just thankful for that.
Well, she's definitely taught me to be determined, and I really want to pursue nursing, and Miss Smith has always taught me, never give up on my dreams.
I enjoy helping people in need here at school, but also in the community as well. So a few years ago, I was delivering food for the food drive to a young student here. Came to his house, thought it was abandoned because the house was boarded up. I knocked on the door and I heard noise. He answered the door and invited me in, and they had been living without utilities for several months. No water, no gas, no electricity. Delivered food, and that evening my sister and I went out and we went Christmas shopping for them so that they could have a Christmas. No tree, no decorations, no nothing. So we brought stuff back the next day and they had Christmas, and it was a beautiful thing. Both of the students got accepted to four-year colleges. I do believe that it let them know that they were not alone, that somebody saw what it was they were going through and somebody cared.
I have the privilege of working with an award-winning employee here at Heritage. Audrey Smith is one of the most amazing people that I've ever met in my career. Her passion for students and just for doing what's best for them and always going above and beyond. You'll never meet anybody that does more for kids than she does.
After I graduated from high school, I took Audrey's advice. I definitely overcame some obstacles, and now I'm actually at a dealership. I have a career actually now, not even a job. I definitely helped me mature a lot in my personal life and my financial issues as well.
I did not plan on being in education the entire time. It's just the road that I kind of was on. And part of me being here as long as I was in the beginning was fear to do something different, but I'm so glad I didn't. I love what I do. I'm so happy to be here doing what I do. I love my job.
Blow McCartney, a shout jubilation, carry us down to our destination. Oh, wiki wiki, oh, Kahiri.
Here at Paloma Valley, we have the Polynesian Ohana Club. We have so many different clubs on campus, and this is one club that I'm involved in, and I'm the advisor of this club. And I do play the ukulele and music with them, and I'm born and raised in Hawaii, so it's Hawaiian in my heart.
For the first time I saw Jeff play the ukulele, I was saying to myself, thank God, because he was playing it for our Polynesian recital for us to stall so we can change into our next costume.
At a high school campus, keeping morale up is a big key to my success and the success of the campus. I have a positive outlook and I care for them. They know that they can come to me anytime to my office.
It's funny, like you can go up and talk to him, whatever you want, like if any problem, issues, you can just talk to him, he'll help you out.
It's very important for the kids to have pride in the campus, especially at a high school level. They're here for 4 years, and this is a big part of their life that they're going to remember the rest of their life.
School culture is really important to any campus, and because Jeff has come here and taken over and cleaned up the campus, not only do the staff and the administrators help clean up, but the students clean up. There's very little to clean up after the students have lunch because they take pride in this campus.
Since Jeff's been here, and as old as the campus is, we constantly get people telling us how great the campus looks, and large part of that is because of Jeff and what he does every day.
My inspiration in my life is my mom and dad. My mother and father both worked as custodians in the state of Hawaii. My father at a high school, my mom at elementary school. And I wish they were here to see this award that I'm getting because I feel they'll be very proud.
I consider Jeff a friend. I feel Jeff has been, not just for myself, but he has been somebody who's we can count on, somebody strong. He has passion for his job. He takes pride in what he does every day, and he instills that in his team. And so he just helps me to keep my drive and focus on my family. And like he says, surf the wave and enjoy life.
When I received the award for the Classified Administrator of the Year for Riverside County, that was a total shock for me. I was totally surprised. I was blindsided by that. Just being nominated to be the top 3 was a fantastic award for itself, but this is the icing on the cake.
I think Jeff deserves the award because it's not just about the facility, but it's about how the kids feel when they're on their campus. They appreciate the fact that our campus doesn't have junk all over the floor and our trash is picked up and they feel safe. All of that Jeff oversees and works with. The students appreciate that. He does what we're supposed to do. It's about the kids, not us.
Mr. Perez is a great employee because he always has this pep in his step. He always is wearing a smile.
I am a communicator. I interact. I set examples. I'm a jokester because you have to have a sense of humor being at a high school campus, and it really just makes it a fun job to be at.
He's got a great personality. He's fun to joke with. He takes it all in stride, and he also knows how to give it back to us. And so we have fun working with Jeff.
At the end of my career, I would like to be remembered as being the short person Being someone who was very proactive with the kids, interacting with them, and even if I touch their lives in one way, shape, or form, that is a real positive thing for me to have in my life, to know that I have touched someone and made a difference.
As a principal, there's really not a typical day. You kind of take what you get each day, but I think what the focus is always going to be about what we're doing for the kids and what needs to be done for the kids. So a typical day could be from meetings with your staff as a whole or staff by departments, but always kind of focusing on what we need to do to make sure that we're doing what's right for kids. Heritage High School is the center of our community because in Romoland there's not a whole lot surrounding the school, and so as a community we really want the school to be the center for our students, for our families, offering classes for our parents to take, as well as programs during the summer for younger siblings to participate in, as well as even current students and their parents to help them as they go through high school. The most fulfilling thing for me as a principal is seeing the success of students after 4 years of high school. And a success can look many different ways depending on the student. So it could be just graduating from high school as their success, or getting accepted to UCLA could be their success, or it could be finding a job right out of high school as their success. But you see how students really develop as individuals from the start of their freshman year to their senior year. We have a tremendous agriculture program, our biggest program here on campus. Over 600 students are a part of our agriculture program, and it ranges from raising an animal to plants, and our students are learning from start to finish what that looks like.
One of the things that makes Julie such a great principal is her leadership. She has the ability to get people to follow her in the great directions she wants to lead her campus. Case in point is our Scholar Plus one-to-one program. Julie Zerold brings leadership not just to Heritage High School, but to the district as a whole. She thinks outside of the box. She's always forward-thinking and has really helped move our district in a positive direction.
Well, what I learned from Ms. Zerold is that always do the best. She's taught me that throughout my high school career, is always try to be better than the person you were yesterday. And I think that is a big thing I will take away from what she's shown and what she's taught.
Heritage High School is a better high school in so many ways because of Julie Zerold's leadership. She's a quiet, unassuming cheerleader for her students and staff, and she's just taken this school to new heights in so many areas.
I think using social media is a great way to tap into what the kids really like to celebrate, and students love to use social media, and I like to engage the kids in all the activities that we do, and it comes down to sometimes we're taking selfies at football games or in pep rallies or taking selfies with some of the animals out on campus. So it's a great way for them to see themselves out there, and they reshare what they're doing, and it's a great way for them to celebrate their successes. I was surprised when I received this award. We were preparing for one of my other employees to be recognized that day. I couldn't have been more surprised by the actual award, but to be able to share it with my colleague and good friend of mine, Audrey Smith, who impacts students every day, I think it makes the award that much more special to be able to share it with somebody who works really hard to impact students and do what's right for kids. Probably the most impactful programs that we've implemented have been Link Crew and Plus, which is really reaching out to our students. It's primarily in their younger grades, getting them connected throughout high school and connected with a mentor, an older student, as a junior or senior. I get to see students come through those gates and say good morning and are inspired and are ecstatic to be here at Heritage High School. I can't imagine having a different job than I have right now.
About an hour and a half ago, a little more than that, the board recognized our retirees. We have some wonderful people who'll be leaving us and leaving big holes to fill. And because she sits next to me, I'm going to gush for a couple minutes about Marcy Savage, who the board has not accepted her resignation yet. So they could reject it, right, Mr. Holstrom? And she'd just have to continue working. But after a career of more than 40 years in public education, from special education teacher to assistant principal to coordinator in another district to special education director and now assistant superintendent, Marcy Savage has truly made a difference in our district. And she'll be here till June 30th, but after that, she's going to go and retire, and we're not happy about it, but we're learning to accept it with therapy and medication. So, ladies and gentlemen, Marcy Savage. You know, she hates that. That's why we did it. And she's not going to speak, but I can tell you that we're going to try to, her husband's okay with it. We're going to throw a party for her using no district funds. And there are a lot of people in Hemet and Paris who have a lot to say about you. So congratulations and thank you. Oh, yeah. And I will be the MC, so it will be funny. It'll be funny. Anyway, congratulations, Marcy. And board members, one more thing. I'd like to read a prepared statement. I'd like to comment on what's happened over the past week as it relates to our district's budget. As many of you know, the governor released his May revised budget the governor released his May budget revision known as the May Revised just last week. As a district, we used that report, the final state budget in June, and the governor's January budget forecast to predict district revenues going forward. We've been at the bargaining table with PSEA, CSEA, and the CMI Teachers Association using the latest budget numbers from January. While we have read promising reports about various tax collections going up through the winter and the spring, as a public agency that depends on the state, we look to the state for official guidance. And while the governor's May revise last week is not the final state budget, we are confident enough to have asked the governing board this afternoon to approve vastly different negotiation proposals than we've had previously. As superintendent, our employees gave back compensation concessions to the district when we faced 5 long years of the worst recession since the Great Depression. Meanwhile, our governing board made wise decisions in choosing not to lay off classified employees or new teachers to balance the budget. Instead, our board chose to make investments in our students, including Chromebooks for all of our students, bringing Avid district-wide and professional development focused on the classroom. I'm excited to share that after the May revision was released, Candace Rains combed through all the details, and she and her team worked the entire weekend recalculating the numbers, and not just on the weekend, but at night as well. We then contacted Vicki Mueller on Saturday, President-elect Vicki Mueller, to ask the PSEA negotiations team to meet with us earlier than our next scheduled session, which was May 27th. We are extremely excited to have been able to present a revised budget/negotiations picture to the governing board tonight for their authorization, which they gave us. Now in May 2015, after a long fiscal drought, this district is prepared to make new and exciting proposals to PSEA tomorrow, CSEA on May 26th, and the CMI Teachers Association on June 8th. They are proposals that, coupled with our new LCAP plan, are great for our students and for our employees, and a huge leap forward for the district. Thank you very much. That'll conclude my comments.
Thank you, Dr. Greenberg. Okay, oral reports, student representatives. Trustee Twyman with Paloma Valley.
From Paloma Valley. Get me down there. Raymond Garcia. I'm going to go down there.
Raymond Garcia, see here?
Raymond Garcia.
Do we have a Paloma representative today? Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, Trustee Cooley?
All right, I would like to.
Well, Paris is here. Oh yeah, can you hear it? Yeah. Okay. Hello, everyone. Good evening, President Nelson and board members, Superintendent Greenberg and Cabinet, and Major Ashley Jackson. Yeah, you guys know who I am. Along with Melissa Vasquez, my fellow ASB school board representative. And Melissa will be starting this off.
Okay. On May 14th through the 17th, PHS was at Lake Skinner, battling it out with other schools to determine who had the best solar boat on the lake. With the power of the raining clouds and standing by lifeguards, everyone's enthusiasm was at an all-time high because a year's worth of work was about to be put to test. We'd like to thank Ms. Cooper and Mr. Hayes for being there and help start pushing the program forward. NHS continues the tradition of their ceremony for the outgoing and incoming new members. The ceremony included the reciting of a historical speech said for many years by actual NHS Society.
That was last Tuesday.
Which was last Tuesday. For our ASB, keeping the year rolling, ASB and BSU put on a lip sync that took place Friday the 24th. Some of the participants included Mr. Hayes from ASB, Ms. Hayes from ASB Accounting, Ms. Avila, Mr. Hayes, and Ms. Peacock. On May 1st was Prom Fashion Show that launched prom season. Prom took place May 16th, selling out for the second year in a row. 420 students attended, with Azalea Sanchez being crowned prom queen and Devonta Fields crowned king. More May Madness happened on May 8th because of the talent show. The talent show starred people from jump ropers to singing out to a performance. The winner of the night was Mariah Garcia. Lastly, to end this month, we would like to invite you guys to the senior award night, which Ms. Rico has the invitations.
Yep. Our senior awards night will be next Tuesday. Hope to see you guys there. Taking it back a month, JROTC on April 25th had their first 5K run. JROTC was out early, around 7 a.m. to set up, and at 9 a.m. the Nation and other ROTC organizations took off to run at the same time. ROTC also had their awards ceremony. The new battalion commander, Brisa Gomez, and the new battalion executive officer, Oscar Garcia, assumed their position for the first time that night. Boys volleyball at Paris High has put in a lot of work this year, and because of it, they had a great season to win over several schools, and because of that, they made CIF this year. In a wild card, they defeated Lancaster High. Unfortunately, they went down in the next round against Cathedral City, but it was a great game. As all of you know, it's May season, it's college and graduation, and everyone's excited to leave and scared to leave. And so Paris High hasn't missed out on the season. Everyone's jumped into it. So here's a few of the people besides like Alejandro and other people that have made it. So myself and my friend Yada, we're going to be going to UC Merced. Alejandro's going to Stanford. Cesar Jose Aguirre will be attending Cal Poly Pomona. Cesar Godoy and Monica Campos will be attending UC Davis. Leslie Ayala, as some of you know, will be attending the Annapolis Academy. She's stoked about that. Jeremy's going to Berkeley, and Oscar Sanchez is going to UC Irvine. So a lot of good things coming out from Paris High, and everyone's excited and sad. Always. Also, the ELA Awards. It's been a great honor for the EL program at Paris High School to recognize Miss Diana Breska, as the 2015 English Learners Teacher of the Year, and Megan Telsiner. Do you remember it? No. Yeah. She's a great person. Yes. Miss T as the 2015 English Learners Rookie Teacher of the Year. Also, Flor Denise Sandoval and Quan Tran earned the 2015 English Learner Student of the Year. Also, last Saturday, Heritage High School held a prom for special ed, and Paloma and Paris High School special ed students went there. I was there with my sister because she goes to Heritage. So for Heritage, thank you guys for that. It was really good, and they're happy. So at this time, thank you guys for your attention. I've known some of you since my 7th grade year, and I'm a senior, so I'm leaving this year, so thank you guys. But I leave you in good hands with Melissa, who's always ready to report Panther News. So thanks, guys.
I would say that.
Sorry.
From Heritage High School, Anthony Hugashoff and Natalie Bowen.
Okay. Good evening, board members and trustees. My name is Anthony, and this is my friend Natalie. First, we want to talk about our prom that was just a couple weeks ago. We want to say that everyone had a fun and appropriate time and did come back safe and sound. Natalie's going to talk to you guys more about the VIP prom that we had.
We invited Paloma, Paris, and of course our students. But for our students, we got like dresses and makeup. We got it done for them, and it was fun to have all of them feeling special and. Yeah. Oh. As the school year comes to an end, the seniors are saying their farewell to high school. We would like to congratulate Holly Woods for being selected as the Heritage High School Student of the Year. And we would like to invite you guys to our senior awards night to see Holly and our other seniors get rewarded.
As a senior, it seems like the school is coming to a close really, really fast. Last week it was seemed like just a month away. Now we're down to 10 days until the end for the seniors. We have our grad activities and our finals coming up. But the seniors aren't the only ones who have had important things going on. We want to congratulate all our sophomores that took the CASI and passed. And also to all our AP testers. I understand AP tests are hard and stressful. So I want to give them a good congrats, and for them, I'm not sure if there's any more being taken, but if there are, good luck to them.
Now we want to highlight some of our achievements and activities that have been going on with our spring sports. The boys tennis team are moving on to CIF semifinals against Hemet High. They're playing today, so we wish them luck. And our freshman swimmer, Caitlin, for not only qualifying for CIFs, but getting 3rd place. So.
All of our sports team did great. We also want to say that our spring musical, this past weekend, the HHS drama department performed 3 shows of the musical Curtains. It was an incredible play, and the talent was off the charts. It was a hilarious show, and I laughed the entire time. We hoped you were able to make it to one of the shows. Mr. Newman and the students didn't disappoint anybody. Link Crew has also begun working with a new group of leaders, getting them ready for the upcoming school year. On May 19th, they had their May Development Day, which is just a little preview of what the Link leaders get to do, just a little bit of training before they become actual Link leaders. As we close this year's group with our Link leaders, and we had our social, being in the Link Crew class, it was an amazing time, and I'm going to miss Link Crew. Teacher and Staff Appreciation. This month we have been celebrating Teacher and Classified Staff Appreciation Weeks. The students of Heritage would like to say thank you to all the faculty and staff members of our school for their committed and continued support to all the students in academic, athletics, and activities. We also want to congratulate Mr. Michael Madison on being selected as Teacher of the Month and Mr. Richard Holinstead on being selected as Staff of the Month. Now, as a senior, this is my last board meeting. I hope that Natalie will take this over next year with Candace. But I want to say that it's been amazing working with you guys and being able to tell you guys what's been going on at Heritage.
Thank you, guys.
And that's it. Thank you.
Anthony and Natalie, on behalf of the Board of Education and the administration of our district, I have the honor and the pleasure to present to you these certificates of appreciation for the excellent, outstanding job that you have done helping our district and our community. Thank you very much. Trustee Agundes.
Yes, from Pinacate Middle School, student rep Omar Elizondo and Melissa Linares.
Good evening, President Ellison, members of the board, Dr. Greenberg, members of the cabinet. I am Melissa Linares, Pinacate's ASB Vice President, and here with me tonight is Omar Elizondo, Pinacate's ASB President. Thank you for having us here so we can report on all the wonderful things happening at Pinacate. We want to thank all of our staff members and our 8th graders for a successful day of CST science testing that took place in April. This month, CAS-BLA testing went well too. Right now, we are in the math part of the test, and it is challenging, but it is going well. Special thanks goes to Mr. Mark Sinnott, Jesse Perdue, our school technician, and Mr. Wise for their help and hard work to make sure that things go smoothly. Thanks goes to Ms. Mueller, Ms. Cardos, Mrs. Jones, and members of Club Life for pulling out another successful Girls' Night In. On Friday, April 17th, the girls spent the entire day playing games, running relays, participating in workshops, listening to special speakers, watching movies, and enjoying food. It was a memorable night filled with positive, uplifting experiences that they will always remember. On Tuesday, April 28, 20 of our top Puma scholars were inducted into the National Junior Honor Society, NJHS. President Edwin Rivera directed the ceremony, and all 20 students participated. Thank you to Mrs. Marby, who organized the event, and Ms. Mackenzie, who was the honored guest speaker chosen by the students. Ms. Casals, Mr. Guerra, Mr. Daniel Morgan, Mrs. Mann, and Mrs. Kyle, and Ms. Amelia Brown also helped welcome parents, passed out awards, and served refreshments. Over 100 parents and family members attended. We also want to thank Mrs. Savage, Mrs. Raines, and Mrs. Davis from the district office for attending. Overall, it was a well-planned and wonderful event. And here's President Omar.
Now time for Puma sports. In girls softball, our Lady Pumas really played hard and showed tremendous improvement this season. Although they lost their last couple of games, they learned a lot about softball and they really enjoyed themselves. Most of the girls had never played organized softball before, but that did not stop them from going out there and trying their best. Thank you, Coach Meyer, for doing such a great job coaching our girls this year. Our Puma boys volleyball team continued to win more matches. They moved all the way up to second place in their league. Great job to Coach Al and to our Pumas. They really improved this year. Almost all of the boys neither had played volleyball before, so for them to do so well in the league really shows how much they improved, and they also had a lot of fun. In soccer, both the boys and girls teams played in the East Region Think Together soccer tournament. The girls won their first game against Mountain Shadows 5-0, then lost to Lakeside 1-0, but then bounced back to win against CMI 6-0. Leslie Placencia scored 7 goals during all 3 games. They came in second place in the tournament. Great job, ladies. The boys won all of their games by scores of 2-0, 5-0, and then 13-0, with every player getting an ample amount of playing time. The finals will take place on Saturday, May 30th at Rainbow Ridge Elementary School. They are the number 1 seed in the tournament. The first game kicks off around 8:30. ASB would like to thank our teachers for making positive phone calls home right before Mother's Day. Many of them made 5 or more positive calls telling mothers good things about their students and wishing them a happy Mother's Day. What a nice thing to do. No doubt we have awesome teachers and staff members at Pinacati. Thank you. Last Wednesday, our teachers were celebrated on California Day of the Teacher by having a staff breakfast set up by our parent volunteers and served by our administrators. Teachers also celebrated with a lunch with their union on Friday. Many of our ASB members helped Ms. Mueller prepare gifts for our teachers to show our appreciation. Our parent volunteers also decorated the staff lounge. It looks beautiful. Last night, we had our Spring Arts Festival. Over 200 parents, family members, and students enjoyed presentations from our yearbook and journalism classes, and performance from our girls' dance and cheer squad, and the beginning and advanced band classes. Thanks goes to our yearbook teacher, Mr. Daniel Morgan, journalism teacher, Ms. Carroll, dance coach, Ms. McKenzie, and our band director, Ms. Cardos, for organizing the event. Our Pumas did a great job, and they had a lot of fun sharing their talent with others. We also want to thank Dr. Greenberg, Ms. Rains, Mr. Swartz, and Ms. Davis for attending and being so supportive. Overall, it was a wonderful night. This is our report. Do you have any questions? Thank you for listening to all of our Thank you for listening to all of our presentations this year. It's been a wonderful year, and we are so proud to be part of the class of 2015. As president, I thank you for all of your support.
On behalf of the Board of Trustees and Administration, in appreciation for services rendered to the Paris Union High School District for the betterment of the school district and community and your school, congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, from Paris Lake High School, Amy Campos, Carlos Davia, Gabriel Ramirez, Amanda Davis, Serena Hall, and Dante Stevenson.
Good evening, Superintendent Greenberg and members of the board. Thank you for the opportunity to share what is happening in Paris Lake High School. My name is Gabriel Ramirez, and I'm currently a senior at Paris Lake High School. Falcon Shack. We currently remain the student store as Paris Lake High School as the Falcon Shack. One of our students came up in the name and has been open Monday through Wednesday throughout the school year. It has been nice to have a second choice beyond the cafeteria. Field Day. The planning of the Falcon Field Day is in progress. We are planning to have it in June 3rd. Our plan is to have a great time. ASB will be working hard to put it all together to finalize our school year. Games and activities will take place, and it will be a great event for both ASB to host and for our students to participate in. Link Sync Talent Show. The planning of the Link Sync Talent Show is in progress. It is on May 27th. Students and staff are currently rehearsing for the show. We will reward the top 3 with good cards, and all the participants will receive medals.
My name is Carlos Davila, and we recently had our very first annual senior pinning ceremony on May 13th at Pinacati Middle School. This was a symbolic event recognizing students' achievements thus far. The ceremony was held for our graduating seniors and honored every one of them by making a pledge and receiving a symbolic pin by a supporting parent or guardian. Scholarships, academic awards, valedictorian, and salutatorian were announced as well. The SOAR Awards will occur on the 29th of this month. It's going to be our last SOAR Awards of the year. to award the students for their attendance and their grades. Awards and certificates will be given out to the specific students during a barbecue at lunch. We want to thank you for giving us the opportunity during the year to share with you what is happening at Paris Lake High School. Do you have any questions? Thank you.
I feel a bit underdressed. You got one of those, a clip-on I can borrow? On behalf of the Board of Trustees and the administration, I'd like to thank you for everything you've done and letting us know what's happening at the lake. So, thank you, gentlemen. Trustee Arouse.
From the Academy, let's welcome the students' representatives, Savannah Mendoza and Devina Contreras.
Good evening, President Nelson, members of the school board, Dr. Greenberg, and the entire cabinet. My name is Savannah Mendoza.
And I am Davina Contreras.
Under the leadership of Dr. Garcia, the Academy has achieved many milestones. Both semesters have been a whirlwind of activities and events. In April, we hosted famous artist and actor Simon Silva. Mr. Silva gave a 2-day presentation. This included the students showing off their creativity with different forms of art. Our local Army recruiters spoke to the students about the opportunities offered in the military. They also shared their life experiences, which included making the right choices.
On May 1st, we had an awards assembly for the students with good grade point averages, attendance, and citizenship. 29 students received awards. On May 6th, we visited the Museum of Tolerance. It was an emotional experience for everyone. Some of our students had never been to Los Angeles. We would like to thank Hector Gonzalez and Nick Newkirk for going with us. Today, we took a tour to the UC Riverside's campus. In closing, we are having a barbecue to celebrate the end of a very successful year. Thank you for your continued support.
Ladies, don't go anywhere. Come on back. Come on back. Come on back.
Savannah and Davina, right?
Yeah.
Okay. On behalf of my fellow board members and the district administration, I want to present a certificate of appreciation for your services.
Thank you.
to our district.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And Trustee Cooley.
From CMI, Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Miguel Lopez. And Student of the Year.
Well, good afternoon, President Nelson, Dr. Greenberg, and members of the Cabinet. I'm Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Miguel Lopez, and I'll be representing CMI today. On April 18th, I'm not sure if I talked about it last time, but I want to brag about it just a little bit more. On April 18th, we had our prom, which was a masquerade theme. We had a huge turnout from both seniors and juniors, and it was a memorable night for everybody. A nice side thing that we had was a free photo booth for every student, which is always awesome. We'd like to announce that Coach Sibley, our track and field coach, was voted Coach of the Year for this month. She led our track and field team this year to many victories, with lots of our students taking gold in the CIFs. And with her guidance, our team has been the most successful that it's ever been as long as I've been at CMI. On the weekend of May 9th through the 10th, CMI band scored a rating of excellent at the Trills and Thrills Festival. With most of our band consisting of middle school and lower high school students, we have nowhere to go but up. Thanks to Mr. Tatum for his guidance and the band's adoration of our school motto, Rough Riders, leading the charge. That same weekend, 3 of our CMI cadets, myself included, had the honor of being Pride Guides at the Rotary District 5330's Personal Rotary Youth Development Experience. We had lots of fun with some of the top 7th grade leaders of the entire Southern California. But aside from all the fun, as Pride Guides, we were given the opportunity to become a part of these kids' lives. This is a leadership camp for some of the top 7th grade leaders at Southern California, as I said before. And some of these kids, they come and you see them as leaders. You see them having the high grade point average, but they don't always come from the perfect home. They come from broken families. They have all these things. And camps like this that Rotary puts on are really a great opportunity for these kids to meet other kids just like them, and for us as seniors and juniors in high school to interact with them and carry on the spirit of service with passion. Thursday and Friday of last week, our drama club gave a wonderful performance of The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde. It was really fun, one of my favorite plays, and it was really hilarious. We're proud to report that we had a 99% pass rate for the Cassie at CMI. Yep. And I think a big part of this is due to the fact that CMI puts on what we call a Cassie boot camp, military style, where our sophomores come in and they're able to receive training for the Cassie. So CMI has been doing a great job. We always support our students. On May 25th, our color guard will be presenting the colors at the Paris Cemetery to honor all the veterans there for Memorial Day. May 28th, we'll be having our very first annual CMI Awards Night, where some of our outstanding cadets will be given awards from different organizations. It's bound to be a fun night, and thank you to Command Sergeant Major Allo and the administration for having this amazing night for our cadets. And I'm kind of happy, kind of sad to report that next Friday, May 29th, will be my final passing review at the California Military Institute. It's like a mini parade, and it's really beautiful. I hope some of you will be able to make it out there. That day, I'll be passing command over to Cadet Captain Omar Guerra, who will take the regiment and the brigade next year. So I know he's a really fitting cadet, and we're all really proud of him. Like I said, it's going to be a really sad day for me. But thankfully, I get to give a speech before I go to make him sit out there in the hot sun for a little bit, just for me. That'll conclude my report. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak in front of you for the past 2 years. It's really been a wonderful experience for me to develop my public speaking skills, and I'm very proud to represent CMI. Thank you.
Okay. I know we are coming down to the end of the year. I know they're not finals, but all the students who presented, if you guys would like to leave, you are more than welcome to. You do not have to stay around for the boring parts, we like to call them. Not robotics. You guys stay there. You guys thought you got to... If there are any teachers sitting outside waiting for seats, we now have those available. Parents or teachers. All right. Now that we got a lot of people back inside, CSEA President Claudia Davis.
Can you hear me? Good evening, President Nelson, school board members, Dr. Greenberg, and Cabinet. Again, I'm always happy, but I'm really happy to be here because of the exciting things that I have to share with you. Okay, where has the time gone? We are almost to the end of another year, and I know school just started yesterday. Okay, we started negotiations, interest-based bargaining to be exact. I really don't think we can call it negotiations because everyone has a story to tell, and at the end we all come to an understanding, or as close as possible, as to the outcome. And we all think it's going really well. On a positive note, well, that was positive too, but I was nominated and won Member of the Year for Region 91 for CSEA. It is a great honor to be nominated. I didn't even know I was nominated, but to win, phew. This week, May 17th through May 23rd, is Classified School Employee Week. California Legislature recognizes the important contributions of classified school employees and recognizes the third full week of May as Classified School Employee Week to honor those contributions. With that being said, I would like to call Laura Estrada, who is an intermediate clerk at Penacati Middle School, and her daughter, Ariana Grinstaff, up here. Thank you. CSEA awards scholarships to its members' children, and this year, Ariana has been awarded a $1,000 scholarship. We would like to congratulate Ariana on her upcoming graduation and wish her much success. Here you go, sweetie.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Would you like to say something?
I want to thank this recognition that you have given me, especially you. And this is an honor to get a scholarship so large, and it's very encouraging to end this year. And I am proud to say I'm going to Cal State Long Beach, and I'm more than excited. Thank you very much.
That's all. Thank you and have a nice evening.
Thank you, Ms. Davis. PSEA President Paul Clay.
A little taller. Thank you once again for this opportunity, and apparently as president, the last opportunity I'll have to address the Board of Trustees, and I appreciate it. Standing outside, kind of snaking around they reminded me of why I don't like going to Disneyland too much because of all the crowds. But there is a serious side to that too. I have asked in previous times when we are expecting a large turnout, and of course generally around negotiations it seems to be that we turn out in large numbers, that we have a venue that accommodates the size for the number of people here. It's really disenfranchising these people from participating who are outside, from hearing everything that's going on. And as much as I tried, some people just don't speak into the microphone, frankly, and we don't hear everything going on out there. So that's an inconvenience I hope will be corrected. And it doesn't take much technology to transform the theater over at Heritage High School, for instance, that could accommodate all these people comfortably in air conditioning, no less. But all the technology that you would need the projectors, all the computer technology, every one of the interfaces, the software for all this can be adopted there. We do things like this all the time for our shows and things. So I think for the members, the public, people who have not been able to get into this building because of the crowdedness, this is something that needs to really be considered. The May Revise. We are grateful for Dr. Greenberg for realizing that the May Revise is so impactful in the upcoming negotiations. However, and this is a very big important point, it is the May Revise. We've been having these numbers come in all year. We've known that the numbers were going to be good. We certainly projected what they already had been, and to hear the May Revise is doing so much better is extremely encouraging, of course, but we could have had an agreement back in October. I'm hopeful that this means that the foot dragging has stopped, because the members do not want this to continue another day longer. Aside from that, which is on the minds of all those people outside, and quite a few of you inside here, that's why you're here today, I also want to reiterate that there are still continuing other problems. You will hear today about discrimination. I am here to tell you now, thank you for changing our mathematics program again so that we're going back to the standard mathematics format, mostly, I guess. I'm not sure exactly where we are headed with that. I did get, thank you, Ms. Savage. She did give me an update on that, and it sounds like we're going to go the right way with the mathematics. I have, as you know, a junior daughter in a different school where they are sticking to the new program, and she is completely lost with the mathematics. It's a trying and difficult thing for the teachers. How is it going to be for the students? And so going back to the standard format is the absolute best thing we can do, and now we need to get books. For a lot of the classes, like for instance, I understand we still have to decide on books for geography. There are any number of issues still out there. I still have before the per board a complaint against the district that seems to be widening almost daily. Okay? In the meantime, we did have an election, and I would like to introduce to you the members of the new executive board, some of the faces you know, some of the faces you may know, but didn't know you know, and some faces that may be completely new to you. I would ask them, if they made it inside, most of them did, to please stand. Kim Freeberg, Chris Madalena, Gary Stone, Angelica Apodaca, Holly Santasteven, and Vicki Mueller. And those people standing all around there, they just didn't get a seat, that's all. But the rest of them, and again, thank you for your time. I do understand that sometimes I may be a little trying, but I am getting my point across. I know that people are listening to me. I know that we're achieving in different places, in different ways, a lot of the goals that I set out for myself 4 years ago when I first ran for president. So thank you very much, and I appreciate the time and appreciate having the opportunity to meet with you and talk with each of you at one time or another. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Clay. And now we have the invitation to address the Board of Trustees on agendized and non-agendized items. I do have a statement to read. A person wishing to be heard by the board shall first be recognized by the president and shall then proceed to comment as briefly as the subject permits. Individual speakers shall be allowed 3 minutes to address the board on each agenda or non-agenda item. The board shall limit the total time for public input on each item to 20 minutes. With board consent, the president may increase or decrease the time allowed for public presentation depending on the topic and the number of persons wishing to be heard. The president may take a poll of speakers for or against a particular issue and may ask that the additional persons speak only if they have something new to add. Okay, that being said, first one we have is implementation of board policy regarding the selection of valedictorian and salutatorian. Daniel Walker.
Hello there today, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to discuss the board policy regarding choosing valedictorian and salutatorian. My main issue with this policy is not what the policy states, but the fact that it was not made easily accessible to staff and students at Paloma Valley High School. I had only found out about this policy after the 12-week grading report with no time to adjust my class schedule, no time to adjust to this, and the main reason being is dual enrollment classes are weighted differently on Infinite Campus's method versus the board policies method. On Infinite Campus, my cumulative GPA from junior year has showed that I'm rank 1, or valedictorian, and that is what I believed up until the 12-week when Mr. Don Williamson had told me that board policy is different, and in fact, I am salutatorian. Now, salutatorian to me is a great honor. However, I feel kind of as if I would have known board policy ahead of time, even as late as the beginning of junior year, I could have planned senior year better to accompany board policy and still have been in the running for valedictorian. I'd also like to know that I've been asking teachers about board policy. None of them were able to tell me that it was the 12-week. They all had believed that it was actually the end of the year final grade. Counselors had also believed this up until a meeting I had 2 days after the 12-week was done, which is when I first found out about the 12-week. Ms. Rathbun had mentioned something regarding it, and Mr. Williamson confirmed it. But I don't also just want to be here complaining about board policy. I'd also like to offer some compromises or solutions. Because I'm not the only one hurt by board policy, Julia Rivera, our student of the year, was also in the running, but due to board policy, will not be valedictorian or salutatorian. Compromises I offer is perhaps we should have Savannah Dow, who by board policy is a valedictorian, and have 2 salutatorians, both myself and Julia Rivera, because we have both worked so very hard for it, and I truly believe she is also deserving. Or another possible solution I like to present would be having 3 co-valedictorians, Savannah Dow, myself, and Julia Rivera. As we have been working so hard from this since freshman year, we've all been taking the hardest of AP classes, been deeply involved in extracurricular activities from band to clubs to academic activities outside of school. And I truly believe that all 3 of us deserve this award equally. However, I'd like to thank you for the time, and I'd also like to thank Pelham Valley High School for all of the support they've given me. Dr. Greenberg, thank you for always being there at our NHS meetings and CSF. And thank you very much.
Thank you. And on the topic of leadership, we have Keith Morgan.
Good afternoon, President Nelson, Dr. Greenberg, School Board. I'm here to speak about one thing, and that is leadership. Leadership sometimes is not for everyone. Leadership is not for everyone when some groups are not represented sufficiently. Having a small population of African American students does not mean non-representation. Unfortunately, that seems to be the case that has occurred at Heritage High School over the past 6 years. My oldest son been there, as well as my youngest son. Recently, I have had encounters by being on the school site council, as well as a parent, where there was information I requested from the school that I'm entitled to receive for my son, who was trying to start a BSU, which hasn't been in existence for 6 years since the release of Ms. McQueen. That information was refused to me in an email from a vice principal and sent to another teacher to refuse that information. It was not until I quoted Ed Code Section 26008 requiring a school to provide a documentation to parents from school for related matters. That was the only time I received that information. This is not the way you're supposed to work with parents. They have to go after Ed Code to get information that's available to them freely. This is not acceptable in any manner. This happened also with the school site council parent liaison, Title I liaison, where information was given incorrectly in regards to funds that were available to do Black History Month. It was given to us, and we did the event, and they told us, no, we cannot get the funds for it, until finally that information was given freely to ELAC without them even asking for an event at school site council. And then I turned around and asked, well, if they're going to get funds for what they're doing, we did something right at the school. Why can we not get those same funds? Then at that point, that was when it was given to us. This kind of information, this kind of misleading, this kind of non-representation is not something that we look forward to as new African-American Advisory Council at the school, or as parents that are part of that African-American Advisory Council. We want true representation. We want people that are going to be forthright with what they're saying they're going to do and be honest and upfront with their information. I do not make these things up. This is documented. This is emails that I will provide to the school board if they request it, but I do have a report that I like to submit, and I believe that our leadership that we have there is not for everyone, like I stated. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Morgan. On the topic of building a middle school, Carl Johnson.
Good evening to the board, administrators, and people present. I'm just concerned about the idea that I've learned that there will not be a middle school built anytime soon. I know Pinnacotta is probably taxed really heavy because it serves the whole city of Paris. And I would like to know from the board at some time in the future, what is the plan as far as building a middle school in the city of Paris? I understand that now you're going to go forward and building a high school in, I think it's Menifee. If it's incorrect information, I will apologize, but I just like the board at some point in time, and the administration at some point in time, to just give me the information I need as a community member to find out what is being done about building a middle school, and what's the approximate time that the building process will begin. Having kids gone both to Pinnacotta and Paris, I know that those schools are taxed really heavily with students, and I'm just a concerned community person, just trying to find out what's going on. I can leave my email address and my phone number, make it available to the board and to administration so that I can get the information I need. So I'm requesting any and all information regarding the building of the new middle school that has been planned to be built. Also, I want to congratulate our new board member. I ran against him. I never had a chance to congratulate him, so I really want to congratulate you, and just thank you for your time.
Mr. Johnson, at the board meeting, item 15.6, we'll talk about school financing in Paris and in Menifee. So if you'd like to stay, it's on later in the agenda. Otherwise, Ms. Raines can give you a call, and we'll go over that with you. All right, got it. Thank you, sir.
One third option, there is information available on our website with pictures of the schematic plans and that sort of thing. I have your email. I'll send you an email. I will.
All right, thank you. I have Jackie McDonald for property taxpayer, but that is an agenda item. Do you want to speak now, or would you like to speak then? Okay, please, by all means. That's what it says 11:19.
I'm back. Good evening, everybody. I'm not going to go through the whole formality. You guys know me. I've been coming here for 27 years now. Before Measure T was passed, I, like other members of the Paris community, was told that the new middle school in Paris would be built before the high school number 4. After the passage of this measure, there was a lot of hemming and hawing about matching funds and which site would receive the funding first. Despite the promises made to our community, once again it appears Menifee is the chosen community and Paris again gets the short end of the stick. I had another saying for that, but I decided to be nice. Even with improvements to Pinnacotta, we all know there's not enough capacity there for the future populations of middle school students. This could appear to be a violation of the FPPC, the Federal Political Practices Commission, and people in areas other than Menifee were duped into voting yes on this measure just so Menifee could get their new high school to facilitate the unification process. I must remind all of you that this is the Paris Union High School District and not the Menifee Union High School District. We are very disappointed with this process and with the board and the administration for your failure to keep your word to the community. This could be a dereliction of your fiduciary duty to all of the property taxpayers in the district. Advising Menifee on how to make unification easier for them does not bode well with the rest of the district, and we demand to know why the district continues to cater to Menifee to the detriment of Paris and the other feeder districts in this community. No more excuses.
Okay, thank you. And it looks like the rest of them are on contract and negotiations. So for the first, we have Tony DeMoro. He had to leave. Okay. Mr. Salcedo.
Good afternoon, board members, district administration. My name is Sergio Salcedo. Buenas tardes. I have a history in Paris. My dad came in the 1960s. I've been here. I was born and raised in Paris. Went to Paris Elementary. I see some recognized faces up here. And I went to Good Hope Elementary. I graduated from Paris High School, class of 1989. And as a youngster, didn't make the right choices, but I came out okay. And I became a teacher. I went to Cal State San Bernardino, got my degree, got a master's. Love education. This year, I taught at Paris Elementary for 4 years, and this year I taught economics, government, what else? U.S. history, history of Mexico, and plus leadership. That's 5 courses I taught this year. My whole point is that we have good teachers, and teachers in this district need to get paid what they're doing, you know. And I'm very passionate about my job. Money's not what drives me, but it helps. And I'm asking the board, you know, and the district to look into that and help teachers get a better pay, better salary. I'm also a parent. I have a daughter who's a Benecate 4.0 student. I have a daughter, Veronica, who goes to 9th grade. She's struggling, 3.0. But we're doing what we could do. But as a parent, as a teacher, I'm not talking just words. I'm talking right here. You know, help us out. Help the teachers out. And fair. I'm not here to bash anybody. It's not like directed at anyone. Just be fair and help us teachers. Because these teachers work hard. I know I work hard. Gracias.
Thank you. Jerry Bowman.
Hi. I've known most of you for many years. My name is Jerry Bowman. I am a special education teacher at Heritage High School. I am proud to say I'm also a wife, a mother, and a veteran. I chose to move to California 13 years ago to work specifically in this district. I had done my research. I knew the demographics. I knew the challenges. I'm very good at what I do. You have the very best teachers here. There are other jobs that pay more, or schools that have higher test scores, or serve more affluent communities. We stay because we love what we do. We truly believe that we can make a difference. This is not just rhetoric to any of us. We believe in our students, in their families, and in our community. Unfortunately, the largest hurdle we face today is the leadership. When there were furlough days years ago, you took them right alongside us. We were a team, sacrificing together to get the job done. Now it no longer feels like a team. It feels like an exhausting battle. Over 9 months in negotiations, and we are still worth only 1% to you. 1%. That's about $700 a year, $58 per month, before taxes. I sat right over there in November and watched contract as contract after contract was amended to include raises that I found to be astronomical. If there really is no money for salaries, I would implore you to do the obvious and decline your own lavish raises. When your teachers are only worthy of $58 per month, I just don't understand how anyone could take such extravagant raises for themselves. In my mind, it would be selfish of me to accept that money if there really is no money there. While a raise would be nice, this is about more than money. This is about our worth. In an ideal world, whatever raises that you take, the same percentages of increase would trickle down to the certificated staff and to the classified staff. Great leadership provides for their staff before themselves. That would be a team anyone would support and be proud to work for. While many of our classified staff make about $20,000 a year, some of the raises were that much. Shame on you. My dignity and my professional pride are worth more than a measly $58 per month. If that is really my value to the district, keep it.
Thank you. Patricia Liu.
Good evening. I'm Patricia Liu from Paris High School, and I have a couple of questions here that my colleagues have submitted and placed forward, and some of us have volunteered to read them. However, I'm going to, in light of Dr. Greenberg's earlier comments, I'm going on hope here, and I'm going on trust. And anyone that knows me well enough knows I am not a very trusting person. I'm very suspicious. It's part of my nature. I've been that way, and it's never going to change. Sitting back there right now tonight, though, and I hope I don't regret this, I really hope tomorrow, and I think you also stated that tomorrow is Day of the Teacher in the state of California. Last week, then you said California does it differently or something? Something's this week? See, they should get this straight so we're not confused. But let's just take the whole month of May and make it Educators Month, okay? Because I really think educators, anyone who works in education, deserves that. So maybe tomorrow we can make a start of a new day and everyone can be happy. Let me just kind of briefly, for example, some people wonder about the raises. What bothers me, retirement is based on final pay the last 3 years, so how will that work now? We took a big pay cut, so does this mean that our retirement will be reduced too? Why is that so many of the administrators are getting pay raises and promotions? Why is what they do much more important than teachers and counselors? They did a good job, so they get more money, but there doesn't seem to be enough for the rest of us to go around. Someone asked about being employed next year. If the raise goes through, will they still get it? And a lot about the fighting going on and the contract negotiations and that. And I don't think that creates a good environment for anybody. I think it creates a lot amount of stress for teachers, CSEA, administrators, the board. I mean, we can all say one thing here and there, but I think at the end of the day, most of us we don't really need this, okay? So I hope that it is fair. I think that is the best word that I can come up with, is that it's fair. And right now I would like to say something that I've only said to a few people. I consider myself a reluctant teacher. I'm going to step outside the box, and I want you to picture right now as we speak, some people are not here. They're still in their classrooms. Our ag people, our ag teachers, come after hours, all hours, holidays. There are teachers, when I leave sometimes, the lights are on in their room, and I know they're sitting in there, and I know they're doing work. They take work home. They suffer the pains of their students. When we're not their parents. We can't do those things. We can't take them all home. But we go to bed at night or driving home, and we think about these things. They do not go away. This job, we need money because we need to survive, and it is not about the money for everybody that is in this room that works with children. So I hope that tomorrow will be a good new day, and everybody will be happy, because guess what? I think there's money there. Thank you.
Thank you. Diana Fowles.
Hello. Hello, my name is Diana Fowles. I am a math teacher at Heritage High School, and I came to this district 5 years ago. At the time, I was one of 7 teachers hired at Heritage High School. I think that you should know that now I'm one of 3 math teachers that the district has retained of that original 7. For several years, Heritage High School District has struggled to hire and retain quality teachers, specifically in the math and special education departments. Case in point, Heritage High School currently seeks 3 math teachers at that specific site alone. In another area of high-need special education, we lost 4 special education teachers over the past 2 years. Heritage in this district has a perpetual shortage of quality teachers, and if we would like to attract and retain good teachers, we need to adequately compensate them. What are we going to do? Have long-term subs in classes? How is that going to affect our students? How is that going to affect our test scores? How is that going to affect our future funding? We need to make good decisions now and attract the right people and retain the right people for our students and for ourselves. Create a community that can support what we need moving forward. That is our motto, creating community. I made a little poster because we're teachers and we're visuals, and I know what I know math, and so what I have here is if we paid 100% of our pay minus our 2 work days that we lost, and we all know that teachers are not working those 2 days, that's 1.8%. If we take COLA from 2013 is 1.5%, and COLA from 2014 is 1.7%. That puts me at 95% of my current pay. You add your 1.25% raise, and I'm at 97% of my current pay. I'm effectively taking a 3% loss with this raise. The only way for me to retain my same current earning potential is at a 4.28% raise. So what I would like to ask the board is what their vision is for this district. I ask them to support their students by creating a community that has the capacity to attract and retain quality teachers. Thank you.
And we have Debbie Georgiano.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, District Administration. I was given also some comments made by teachers in our district in light of negotiations and having such a difficult time. However, I'm not going to read them as stated because I feel that would be counterproductive regarding, especially in light of your announcement. And I am ever the optimist that we will be working together as a team, because I too feel that's always been my approach. I do feel like I wouldn't be doing them justice to at least reference them. There are teachers here who are very upset looking at leaving, veteran teachers, new teachers. And again, there is always that issue of retaining quality teachers. I too believe that we have tremendous teachers in our district. I know I work really, really hard. I'm not the only one. And so, as ever the optimist, I'm hoping that tomorrow things will be fair and that we'll be smiling this time tomorrow night as we hear the announcement of that. So thank you for your time, and let's come together again as a team. Thank you.
Okay, thank you all for the comments. And we have approval of consent calendar. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Jim. Okay, this is the vote on consent minus those items we've pulled, so please vote. Okay, before we move on, we're going to take about 5-10 minute break, go to the restroom, do all that stuff, and we'll come right back.